And that was 4 years old. By 8, I had my first bite of Iboga, my grandpa, and I passed out because the pressure was too much for a hero. And by the time I woke up, things seems different. I was seeing dead people, I was seeing spirits, everything was confused. At that time, I didn't really quite understand. And at the age of 12, I got my first full initiation, discovering pretty much everything about the universe, the physical and spiritual world. And I was doing a lot of things at that time. Going to school, if I go back to school, I will actually see everything. The night before going to school, the next day, I will see everything the teacher would be.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like a premonition. We call those premonitions. So you were able to envision things before they happened.
Right.
All right.
So, and it was kind of a little scary at first, because I thought for a minute that I was being a vampire or something. And I had a long talk with my grandpa after, even before the full initiation. And then he kind of talked to me about, the shamanism and the gift I have. Because before I was born, people knew in my tribe, especially my grandpa, knew that the next shaman was coming a couple of years before my mom got pregnant with me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of not really challenging. It was kind of a huge experience for me because I started not to feel the need of going and play with my, a teenager like me, just to stick with my grandpa, going to Django training, and I had my first healing process at 12 years old. That was a woman, she came from Congo. Was an aunt of my friend, and she was suffering from a stomach problem where she couldn't eat for weeks. Mm-hmm. For weeks, she was just laying in bed, and I just decided to go to Django, not knowing any herbs yet, just to grab anything I thought about that minute. I just grabbed it and give it to her, and she ate it. That was just a fresh herb. She ate it, and then she just a couple hours afterwards she got up and she was walking and drinking, eating food and smiling, being happy. I'm like, wow, I have a gift then,
All right, so that might be the one. At age 12 then, with your first healing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay. Who supports you now that your father is gone, well, your grandfather chances are is not here also. Are there other people who supports you aside from Julia, your beautiful wife, who just extols your virtues and is a real, a champion for you? But is there anyone that supports you?
Yes, I have the whole tribe behind me, because I'm from the south and my grandpa was from the east. So actually I have multiple tribes behind me who support me on this, this journey.
Okay. When you said at age 8 you woke up and you started seeing dead people, they were spirits. I mean, that is something that's, a little frightening. So when people experience that, I've heard it said that if you're not ready, they won't appear to you. But I know, Julia, you've mentioned before too, seeing that these people see these spirits. I mean, how is it you would acclimate someone to that? I mean, once they're on, the Iboga root is in them, they're on their, journey with you. How do you calm their fears? If someone is like scared and they're seeing these images, these visions of their dead relatives, or, we have movies like the zombies, the walking zombies. I mean, people don't want to encounter them, but yet, they're seeing them and they're terrified. So what do you do?
Okay. There's a difference between seeing dead people, like people you don't know, as zombie or as ghost.
Yeah.
And your loved ones who passed away a long time ago, or even a week ago, because your loved ones who passed away at that moment, they're not zombie or ghost. They are a different spot. And when you're seeing spirits, it's not scary. It's not a scary spot. It's scary for someone who's really depressed or who's losing the soul, and they are in a different stage of the mind state when they pretty much like losing the mind completely. That those are people who just see horrible stuff, because they're really lost right there. But going on an Iboga journey, Iboga won't show you those kind of scary stuff. It's going to be showing you the spiritual way. That means if you're meeting spirits, they come into you not in a scary way, except for a lot of people, they never saw things like that before, so they'd be freaking out for a minute. And what I do is just to talk to them, to tell them exactly what it is. They don't have any reason to be scared, and to really, because that's part of the fear. The fear will hold you back on a lot of stuff. So if you can just stay there and have a courage to face those guys, they will come and talk to you. Especially if it's your loved ones, they're not coming to hurt you. They have a message for you. So they get excited that part, and then they go for it. They get the answers. They talk to them. Actually, the talk is alive. It's not about a dream state. That's the difference. Okay.
I'm switching topics here a little bit because we in this country, we don't have we used to call it war paint. I know that your tribal communities, you use a lot of different costuming and paint on your faces. Now, that has a connotation of, sometimes people say, is there a difference between witch doctory? So do witch, the use of the paint and that, it's customary for your Bwiti tradition. Is there any similarity to witch doctory, or has there, because we haven't used any of that language, but I'm just wondering if I encounter it in the media.
Right.
I mean, actually we haven't used it, but I've had people say, is it like witch doctory when they see those images, because that's how we were trained here. Like, oh,
right.
So what would you say to that, please?
Okay, there's a big difference between a Bwiti tradition and a witch, or like between a difference between a nganga and a witch. Now, the painting, there's a meaning for the painting. The painting, we're painting different ways, depending of the healing you're doing, depending of the ceremony. And the painting to us is like you're traveling to a different country, with a passport and a visa, because every country requires a visa to enter the country. It's the same, but in the spiritual world, you have to have a permission, or if someone has to send you there. So that means you have to have a visa to enter there. You just can't show up there. Nobody knows you there, and for what reason you're there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's say for when I do a pre-initiation to someone, they have to get painted, as a passport for them, for spirits to recognize them, that they come in to the spiritual world for a purpose, and they were sent by someone like Moughenda, was already an initiated guy who was just helping other ones to get through it. So, and sometimes the painting will have a meaning of different spirits coming to the ceremony, especially myself, where I have a different kind of painting I wear, just it's as a signal to spirits, because we call it different spirits in a ceremony. So they have to be able to identify me as a shaman, to when they come to the ceremony. So it's kind of a passport for different ceremonies, for people getting initiated, going to the spiritual world, because there's a difference between the physical world and the spiritual world, and then they just don't decide to go there by yourself, by your own, because you want to go there. Otherwise, everybody would be going there every single second of our lives.
Wow.
So, the painting, it's very meaningful. It's very meaningful. It's not a scary thing. It's just has different meanings, you know, and it can be also a healing. You can paint, you know, the whole body, you know, just to treat whatever, you know, sickness someone's coming, and the way Iboga spirit would direct us to do the healing with the painting. So it's not a skip thing. It's not a wish thing. It's just, you know, part of a spiritual journey.
So the spirits would not recognize you if you didn't have the paint on? The right spirits, you would not attract the right spirits? So you have in mind the type of spirits that you want, that you want them to teach you something. If we call upon the spirit world, we're usually going there for information. Is that correct?
Yes. So it's like, it's not like they're not going to be able to recognize me even if I don't have a painting, but that's part of the way, you know, they work. You know, you have to be, it's pretty much like being ready, like being serious about the work you're doing at a you know, precise moment. So when let's say if I call them with a painting, you know, they might think I'm coming to them for myself or to trying to resolve something on my own. So I have to be really ready to show them that this is, I'm coming to you because it's serious. I have a patient or I have a new initiate coming to you guys. So it's kind of, you know, entering a different level of spirituality when you wear, let's say, when we wear costumes and the painting.
Wow, that's really incredible. It's a question that I've had, and I just have a feeling that it'll be posed to me at some point, and that really helps. In fact, Julia, that would be the essence of an interesting article, to talk about that, to talk about the dress code, if you will, and also the need and why there's painting. Okay, good. Julia, you want to say something?
Oh, I just, there's two things that came across my mind. One was, I think I know the first question that you asked about visiting scary spirits or getting scared, or how do you know when you know, and I think that kind of spun off from a story that I told you about my experience in Gabon and witnessing a spirit there, and how it was scary because it's unlike anything that we get exposed to here. But that wasn't something that I encountered on my Iboga